I'm Skylar Reed, and today I'm going to review Jhene Aiko's music. She's an artist that I really love. I love listening to her music, and I have been listening to her for some years now. So before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and let me know what you think in the comments. Her first album was titled Sail Out, and it was actually an EP. It wasn't a full album. This EP got her a lot of recognition for being her first EP. She actually had the most awards nominated and won for this project. Sail Out was released in 2013. It had a couple hits on it, and the main hit from this project was called The Worst. I love this song. I remember when it first came out, and I was like, this song is really dope. In the 2014 BET Awards, The Worst was nominated for the Coca-Cola Viewer's Choice Award, and it won the Centric Award. So it got a lot of recognition. It also was nominated for Best R&B Song in the 2015 Grammy Awards. And that's pretty big for it being on an EP. Not only was the song recognized by the Grammys that year, but the album was nominated for Best Urban Contemporary Album, which is crazy because it wasn't even an album, it was an EP. She put out some great music that got recognition off the bat. In the 2014 Soul Train Awards, The Worst was nominated for Video of the Year and the Ashford and Simpson Songwriters Award. So this song got a lot of recognition, and she was nominated for Best New Artist that same year at the Soul Train Awards. So her first year coming out the gate was very successful, I must say, and I mean, it shows the album was really great. So when I think of her first album, EP, I absolutely loved it. For being her first project, I think it was a very strong project. Sonically, it was consistent all the way through, and it felt like a true album, even though it was just the EP, and that's probably why it got so much recognition. So she starts off the album with the song titled The Vapor, which has a very common theme in it that she uses throughout her whole discography of music. She talks a lot about smoking, about getting high, and ties it into love. So The Vapors starts out this whole theme. I like how this album had a diversity of content too. So of course she's talking about certain things with drugs and stuff, but she's also talking about love and heartbreak and things like that. 316 stuck out to me a lot. Once again, intertwining the drugs with love, like when she says, "And I hope we don't overdose." That's a really lyrical line, just a metaphor or comparison to, you know, you overdosing on a drug, you overdosing in love. Whatever relationship she's talking about, it's dangerous. The Comfort Ending freestyle, I sang that song like all the time. I didn't even know it was on her first album. I think I discovered it later, but I love that song. I love the rawness of this song and the storyline. It's really real. Like, you feel like she's taking you on a journey from her past, and she's giving you every detail of this horrible relationship ending. Like, you know, like she's finding out she's not the only one, and her girls are holding her down and all of this stuff. I just love the emotion of this song, and I feel like when she does songs like this, as she does in further albums, it really just brings out her artistry, her emotion. It just comes through. So I really like Comfort Endings. Also in the song The Worst, she raps, and I think that is really dope. Like, she's showing her versatility right off the bat in her first main single. She's singing and she's rapping, and you hear her rap again in other songs that she's put out, which is really dope, because it just reminds me of Monica from my last review, just finding out how she actually raps in some of her songs. And there's a lot of singers, her and even Brandy, that incorporate rapping into their songs, and it's a little unexpected, but she flows with it. My favorite songs from her first album are The Worst, 316, and Comfort Ending freestyle. Probably one of my top favorites of all her discography. I just really love that song. She just delivers it so well. It's like believable. She makes me believe the pain, just the detail in the story. It's just amazing. Her second album was titled Sold Out, and it came out in 2014, just a year later. And this album was really cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. This album didn't get any major awards or nominations, but there were some really dope singles on this that I'm sure you guys have heard. The 3 singles off this album were To Love and Die, The Pressure, and Waiting. I think I've heard To Love and Die and The Pressure on the radio before, but Waiting I hadn't really heard until maybe a few months ago. I didn't even know this was a single. Like, I didn't know there was a whole music video and everything. But I love this song. When I heard Waiting, I remember driving and I had to like keep repeating that song. Like just keep, like I was trying to go through the whole album, but when that song came on, I just couldn't get past it. I listened to it like 5 times in a row before I let the next song play. It just was so good. And what I like about this song and the theme of this album is the wordplay. So she's saying waiting, like wading in the water, but she's talking about waiting, like waiting for her love. I did a cover for this song a few weeks ago because I was like, I have to learn this. So this album, like I said, has a lot of wordplay. It shows her cleverness of her songwriting and of her co-writers. So I feel like the previous album was great lyrically as well. Of course, it got tons of nominations and whatnot, but she just continues to dive deeper into words and metaphors. I really love her as a songwriter. The Ways, for example, which stands for Why Are You Smiling? So I really like this song because you don't hear her say why are you smiling that much in the song. You might hear her say like once or twice. But this song, she's dropping gems throughout the song. She's emphasizing why she keeps going. And the phrase, why are you smiling, came from a tweet that her brother tweeted before he passed away. He is a huge influence on her lyrical content, on her music, and she said this in interviews and things. You can hear it, just her music has a very sad undertone. So yeah, this song Ways I really like because it plays again on that wordplay, and it's like ways, like the ways you can live your life, and she's talking about that. But she's also saying, like, why are you smiling? And talking about why she keeps going and what makes her smile inevitably. So I like that concept. Another song that she does wordplay on is The Lion King. The Lion King is cool because it sounds like she's saying The Lion King, the movie, but really she's talking about a lion man. So she's talking about how she was with somebody that he just couldn't get right. And I love this song. I really do like this song. And then she has a song called Pretty Bird, which I think is lyrically beautiful. I really love the metaphors used in this song and just the lyrics. So it's a great message also behind it, and it's very uplifting. And I feel like she's starting to get more into that uplifting side. She has like 2 sides of her musicalness, like where she's talking about drugs sometimes, and then she's talking about love and upliftedness and happiness and spirituality and vibrations, high vibrations. So she sings out more in this song, which I really like, and she showcases her voice more. So I like this song for that reason. I feel like Jhene's voice is very like chill. She does some cool things with her voice, which I'll talk about later, but she really showcased her voice in this song and sang out more. I could hear the belting or the energy in her voice. One thing I noticed about the songs in this album, she doesn't really mention the song titles that much. How normally in a song you repeat the song title in the chorus so it's stuck in your brain. Like, this is the name of the song. It's repeated tons of times in the chorus. But she didn't do that. She was more clever with it, and she would put the song title somewhere in the verse or maybe in the pre-chorus for like a line, and then the chorus would be like another different word and phrase and stuff. So I like that. It just shows her cleverness and her lyrical ability. Like, and whoever she writes with, them together, I just think it's a really great concept to think of, okay, I'm going to do wordplay and I'm not even going to like really emphasize the name of the song. So that's what I got from this album. My favorite songs from this album is To Live and Die, Waiting, and Pretty Bird, for all those reasons I mentioned before. Her next album came a few years later in 2017, and it was titled Trip. So this album already, if you know Jhene Aiko's musical content, you can already guess like this is going to be about drugs, okay? The overall theme of this album is drugs, going on a trip from smoking weed. That's what I got from it. Of course, she ties in love and other things, but the overall sound of this album is kind of low for the most part and deep and somewhat dark. More so in the beginning of the album. It gets lighter as the album continues because the album is long. It's like 22 songs long, which is extremely long for an album. So to me, it feels like it has 2 parts. So the first half, she centered more around drug metaphors. And the second half, she centered more around high vibrations. And it has more of an R&B vibe, brighter tones. Where the first half, she has like more hip-hop vibes, I think. So Sing to Me, I thought was a really cute song. She features her daughter on it where they're singing together, and it's just really sweet and cute. Picture Perfect Freestyle stuck out to me because it had a really jazzy flair to it. I just feel like she probably has some jazz influences, and I have heard some more jazziness tones come out in some of her songs, so like her freestyles when she's a little bit more free. Chilombo. Okay, this album came out in 2020, very recent, and when this album came out, this is when I was like, I am a true Jhene Aiko fan. Okay, I listened to this album all the time. Like, I listened to it like nonstop, like it was just playing on repeat. I just love the album all the way through. The album was nominated for Album of the Year in the 2020 Soul Train Awards, and she was nominated for Best R&B Female Artist in the 2020 Soul Train Awards. So I thought that was cool because this album really stuck out, and I think it's up for a Grammy this year in 2021. So if so, I hope she wins because I think this was like her best body of work, and I think it stuck out just in general. From all of the music, like everybody was talking about this album. It was a good album. I absolutely love everything about this album. It flows very well. It's kind of the opposite of Trip to me. It's just lighter. It's just so much lighter. Like the content is lighter. Of course, there's some heartbreak songs, like more so lyrical content on relationships, like the ins and outs of relationships. I think it's very intimate in that way. The lyrical content is also more positive than Trip. So I like that for that reason. There are tons of clever lyrics on this album and dope flows. I feel like she uses that rapper ability to get some of those cool rhythms in. If she is the one arranging the song and coming up with the melodies and stuff, like I think it's genius. None of Your Concern is very rappy to me, so I really like it. I love how she flows on it. I think Born Tired is a great song lyrically. When I first heard it, I was just like, I don't know about this. It's cool. It's an okay song, but I think lyrically it's amazing. She says, now I'm switching lanes, tire marks on my heart. And I think that idea of tire marks on your heart, like who says that? Like I can imagine that. I think her lyrics use a lot of imagery. Party for me, I thought was so different. Like it's such a different concept. Who thinks about their funeral? Like who thinks about like how people are going to celebrate their life after they're gone? That is something that I don't really hear a lot of artists singing about. It just doesn't really happen much. I just thought this was a cool concept and I liked it. I thought it was ironic that it was the most upbeat song on her album. It was the happiest one and it was featuring Ty Dolla $ign. It was just really cool. And she's flexing her rap skills on this song too, so you see more of her rapping abilities, which is dope. My favorite songs for this album is BS featuring her, Surrender, Triggered, and None of Your Concern. I honestly feel like almost every song is my favorite, but I had to narrow it down just a little bit for you. Yeah, I really love BS. Like when that song comes on, I'm just like, yes, like her voice, and with her, it's so good. Surrender, I really love the bridge. And Triggered when I see your face, triggered when I hear your name, triggered, I'm not okay. Triggered's my favorite song, probably my second favorite song after Comfort Ending. Overall, my favorite album is Chilombo. My least favorite is Trip. When it comes to her voice, I feel like her first album showcased great lyrical content, but not greatness in her vocal ability. I feel like she sounds great, but I feel like her voice got stronger and stronger as she's gone on. I think her voice has progressed a lot with each album. She's doing more quick descending runs, which is really cool. She doesn't do a lot of belting and growling and stuff, but she has a great vocal fry. She does cool drops with the breath, and she has a really cool vibrato, which I think is my favorite part of her voice. Her vibrato is just great, how she lingers on some of those notes. I think she stayed true to her sound overall. Like her sound is just, it's Jhene. It's like, it's her. Like you listen to her from first album to the last and you hear like a consistent sound. Like that tells me that she knows who she is as an artist, and it tells me that she is authentic with her music and she's in her music. She's not just getting random songs and singing them. She is like really in it. It comes across so much more like that because she's so involved with that, with the songwriting process and the making of the music. Her instrumentation has been consistent as well. She uses a lot of hip hop, obviously. She's an R&B singer, so there's that. Her voice reminds me of somebody having a conversation. She's just very raw She sings unfiltered, and it's like she's having a conversation with somebody. Like she's just talking how she really feels. She keeps it so real, and she's so vulnerable. And I think that's why people love her, because she sings what people are thinking. Like it's like you say what people are thinking. So she's dope, and I hope that you guys like this video. I hope that you guys go listen to her music, because I think she's dope. I'm sure you guys will think she's dope. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and follow me on all social media at I am Skylar Reed and Skylar's Music Studio. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.